What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is the return and the finale of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This is the last group of requests I have for it. I've only checked it out once before, and that was a really cool video because the singer slash rapper that was on that song commented, and he's the pinned comment, so shout out Anton. I haven't heard it since, and here we are. We have two songs for you, requested by Darton, Steven, and Memory Tasks. We have a few screws loose from the channel T Lopez, so that's awesome. And then We Ain't Come to Lose from the channel Raekwon, who's Raekwon from wu-tang. I'm excited for that and very curious. That's really cool. And I think Ghostface Killah supposedly is also on this. So those are the wu-tang clan. We're going to start off with a few screws loose. This is really cool, actually. I'm super excited for this. Yeah, I've just TMNT is just one of those things that like everybody grows up with. I never had a phase or anything, but I did play one game on the PS2 that I really liked. I think it was just called TMNT. It was like a cel shaded, like kind of isometric thing. That game was sick. Anyways, but I've heard a lot of good things about this game. This is like a kind of a recent beat 'em up, I think. It looks really, really cool. But let's get into a few screws loose from T Lopez. Hostile Donatello is the best one. Let's go. Who's your favorite turtle? Let's go. Every time I look at the turtles, I get so nostalgic about just being a kid. They're like the epitome of being a kid. Pizza, your bros. They're like so 90s. Yeah. Ooh. Dude, T Lopez is... You might recognize T Lopez from some of the newer or like newish Sonic games. When I hear this, I think of like being at an arcade, pressing buttons, getting coins out of the machine. It just has that sound. That is very impressive to me, to capture a era. Seems to be instrumental. A few screws loose. Possible boss team. With a name like that, maybe it's like a junkyard boss or something. And I'm only saying that because a junkyard boss exists in the game that I was talking about. I like all the turtles, to be honest. I think it's just my bias towards the color purple that I like Donatello. And I like Staff. Big old stick. The reason they're all cool is because they're all so different. You know? Like, they make each other cool. That was it. Oh, dude, that just felt like such a nostalgic trip. Short and sweet. Oh, man. Yeah, shout out T Lopez, dude. Like, I've heard a couple things from him, and man, this is really good. Like the Sonic stuff, I know he's really faithful to the Sonic stuff. Like he did a, oh god, what was it? The aquatic song I did. I can't remember for the life of me right now. I just did it. Sonic, whatever, that one. He did like the phase 2 of it. I'll think of it at some point. He did the phase 2 of it really, really faithful, and it's really cool that they just, you know, they got to add their own flavor to it, but they also kept the spirit, and it seems to be like that's the thing. I don't know if I'm not a composer, so I don't know how it works. Well, I'm not a professional composer, no one's ever hired me, but I don't know how it works as far as how gigs go. Like, do they reach out, or do companies reach out to them? Obviously, they reach out to the composer once they've been established. But it seems like T Lopez has this kind of nostalgic '90s type of thing. I don't know what else they've worked on, but from what I've experienced, it's been like Sonic and TMNT. So it's like two '90s icons. But in doing so, like I'm very fast. I should like look up. Maybe he has like a channel or something. Well, this is a channel, but it's like a Spotify channel. It's not a real one. I don't know if T Lopez has their own channel, but it'd be really cool to see how they come up with this stuff because to put yourself in that mindset, like anyone can put themselves in that era because they grew up in it, but to compose that way, to write that way, you have to really immerse yourself into that world. So I wouldn't doubt that composing this soundtrack or anything that's supposed to sound older, that they didn't just watch a bunch of like Saved by the Bell and Bill Nye and Power Rangers and all this stuff, and just to kind of or even TMNT, and just get that sound in your head, to just think like how a composer would do stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's really fascinating to me because I write music, but I've never had to. Have I? I mean, I've never had to like. Not many instances where I had to think of a certain era and then recreate it. It sounds fun, but also very daunting. It sounds fun because I'm from that era, or I'm from a different era that is not just this one, but or a decade, I should say. But it sounds like a really fun challenge. Testing your musical prowess and then your memory, really. So that was cool. It seemed kind of, and I mean this in the nicest way, it seemed like a generic stage theme. I don't know if it was a battle theme. It sounded to me just like a stage theme, really. Like it sounded like the music was just there to kind of carry you on and focus on the action, really. Which, of course, is a lot of songs, but I think in this one, you can't have a video game soundtrack. Not everything can be like a hit, banger, top thing. A lot of music just has to exist within the game, and to me this sounded like it could have been one of those. Not a bad thing. It's just I just think that's what it felt like to me. So let me know if it's a boss or anything. And the reason I'm saying that also is because the next song, the song I heard before this, the rap one, obviously had vocals, and I'm guessing the next one is gonna have vocals. So it makes me think, I'm kind of gauging it by like importance there. Like, is the vocal stuff like actual boss stuff, or I guess we'll find out. But that sounded really cool, and like I said, it reminded me of this one junkyard boss in TMNT on the PS2, and I don't think it had music, or I don't even remember what it was called. It was just like a bunch of scrap that put itself together. But when I saw the name, A Few Screws Loose, it kind of just reminded me of that. Anyways, oh, you know what I haven't done in a while that I really should do is watch the movie. That movie's, I don't even remember what happens. I don't even remember the plot. I just remember that was like peak 90s fiction. I need to go watch that movie again. If you've never seen the TMNT movie, even though I haven't seen it, I can't recommend it. I still feel like it was like really, really cool enough to recommend. So hopefully it aged well. Or just reminding me of that. Anyways, We Ain't Come to Lose from the channel Raekwon. If you don't know Raekwon, Wu-Tang Clan, iconic, if you want to even call it that, like just historic to the world of hip hop in New York. God, I can't even name them all. Ghostface Killah, Raekwon, Jizza, RZA, ODB. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting someone. But yeah, it's just cool to see how much they become like a success within their world. They were just a group of rappers, and they became kind of like this iconic thing. They were like on Chappelle's show. The RZA became like a producer and did music for like Quentin Tarantino films and stuff like that. And I've always been a fan of the Jizza quite a bit. I love his voice. He has such a cool delivery, and even he's been doing like some acting stuff I've seen here and there. He has a really iconic voice to me. And I might recommend some songs from him. But Raekwon is pretty cool because I've heard him in, well, there's Cream, of course. Everyone knows Cream. Cash rules everything around me. But Also, if you guys, man, this is a deep cut. I'm talking a lot of deep cuts today. Right before I get into this one, if you've ever heard, I'll talk more about it later. But if you ever heard of Muska Beats, you're a real one. We'll talk more about that later. This is We Ain't Come to Lose from Shredder's Revenge. I'm excited. Raekwon has a very like hard delivery kind of rap style.
Nice to meet you, now I'm here to beat you with full force. Mess up your facial features. Hasta la vista, I'm selling all y'all little Caesars. All y'all stuff your face with is pizza. Pizza crack like a hard-boiled egg.
It's like wholesome rap.
See these muscles on me? I could beat your teacher. I'll defeat Leonardo, y'all become the weakest. I take off all of your mass and dismantle your features. Shredder, I cross the line like a letter. Smash all of you turtles, put you back together. Indeed, I squish turtles like a tight girdle. Any obstacle, I clear it like a high hurdle. My stomach cringes for all of you fake ninjas. Fighting you are winless, show you what revenge is. Diabolical move, strike with mad vengeance. Ask Splinter, he know I'm coming with bad intentions. We ain't came to lose. We ain't came to lose. We ain't came to lose.
That's probably RZA scratching. Oh, DJ Giro. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's still composed by T Lopez though. Okay. Oh, dude, this is so like New York 90s hip hop.
Still face foot playing villains and more. With heroes in a half shell going to war. Got the city under siege.
The lyrics are killing me.
Got extra large pizza boxes all on the floor. Get sized up by a negative force. Your time's up on whatever you thought. Individual starving the floor. So the samurai swords on point for the cause. Dangerous metals highlight the reign of terror. The twilight meets the reign of Shredder. All for one and train together.
This is so sick.
Dark clouds in the strangest weather. Breaking news, the front line sprayed with ooze. No sunshine, only dangerous rules. We fly with nunchucks that'll tame the crews. And lace the enemies, we ain't came to lose. We ain't came to lose. We ain't came to lose.
This feels more like title, like maybe credits or main theme type of thing. This is sick. There's this really like magical aura happening here. First of all, that was great. Very rare that I have any sort of hip hop on this channel, but especially like from hip hop artists that shaped the genre. Where do I even start with this one? First of all, it was really cool and funny to hear Raekwon. The lyrical content obviously is going to be for kids, but it was funny just kind of like hearing how some words were twisted around to kind of accommodate for like the younger audience, but you can still hear like the delivery. So it's like, when I hear wu-tang, it's a lot more explicit and, you know, not so family friendly, but it's just funny because you can hear that like delivery in there. It was really cool because I haven't heard of Raekwon in a while. Like I haven't heard anything recent for a while, like maybe like 15, 20 years since I've heard like something from him. So it's nice to hear that he still sounds really good. I'm guessing he's like in his 50s now, maybe late 40s. It's really, really cool to hear that. And another thing, also Ghostface Killah was sick. The lyrics are really funny, but the music, right? It's really, again, going back to like the 90s. We had like the scratching and like that kind of hard beat from New York, that whole like boom bap style. So that was a treat. And speaking of hip hop, I think I want to like, it's actually really fitting. I don't have many examples I can think of at the top of my head because I don't really, like, again, I'm not like super immersed in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles world, but I've always felt that there's been like a constant fusion with hip hop and the series. I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure the TMNT is from New York, right? Either they're from New York or from like a fictional New York. I'm pretty sure it's New York though. But either way, like, you know, the streets, the sewers, they got the buildings, smoke coming out of them, or the sewers, and it just has like that essence. But also, I don't know, like there's just something about the Turtles that I've always felt very like hip hop to me. For example, just well, there's some of the characters, right? Rocksteady, that was a breakdancing crew, very famous breakdancing crew. I don't know if that was a coincidence or not, but like Rocksteady, and what was the other one? Was it Bebop? I think it was Bebop. I don't know. And then to me, I don't know, like I could just be like overextending here, but to me, the four Turtles always represented to me kind of like the four elements of hip hop, which is like graffiti, rap, breakdancing, and what am I forgetting? Graffiti, rap. Man, my brain sucks today. Graffiti, rap, breakdancing. Oh my god, I'm like totally drawing a blank here. I need to eat. I haven't eaten today. But anyways, I'll tell you that last one second when it comes to me. But I've always, you know, kind of thought that, like, you know, maybe this, like, it was like a symbolism with the four Turtles, four elements of hip hop, that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm just kind of, it could be a reach, but you know, but then then you hear stuff like this, and it's kind of like brings it to fruition. Like maybe there is some kind of like, maybe the creators of TMNT were like heavily inspired. I don't know the history of TMNT, and now I'm really interested as a grown up to see like maybe like a documentary of like where did it come from. It's driving me crazy that I can't think of that fourth element right now. It's nuts. That's why there's Google. I'm getting old, man. DJ? Oh, DJ. Duh. Anyways, yeah, DJ was the other one. So graffiti, MCing, rap, breakdancing, and DJ. Holy crap, that was embarrassing. But hey, whatever, I'm not going to cut it because it's my brain. I'm tired, okay? I'm tired. That was a treat. But, and then, what's even crazier, kind of like a subversion, but still kind of in the same vein. Earlier I mentioned something called Musca Beats. If you know about this, damn. You know, but maybe this is a VGM crowd. But Musca Beats, if you are familiar with Musca Beats, my hat is off to you, but here's why I'm bringing this up. For those that may or may not know, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, well, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater featured, obviously, Chad Muska, professional skater, who's always been a longtime hip-hop fan and really cool dude. He's got a couple documentaries out about him. I recommend watching him in some interviews with the 9 Club that I've seen. I've always been into skateboard culture, so I know a lot of that, or I used to. And during Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, Chad Muska created Musca Beats, his own, like, I can't believe I'm even talking about this, but his own, like, self-made hip-hop album. And he got all these, like, legends of hip-hop, like KRS-One, J. the Damager, Raekwon, all these people to be on his songs, Biz Markie, and they were all, like, done out of, like, his apartment. It was so, like, I've never even talked about it to anyone because I don't know who would ever even know about it. But he released the album. I had that album because it was sick. It had a bunch of like hip hop artists, and he just let them do their thing. I'm pretty sure he wrote the songs and then he just had them rap over it. Anyways, it's just cool that, like, you know, Raekwon was always like been down with this kind of stuff, and just wu-tang as a whole. But it just reminded me of, like, again, like one of the few instances where hip hop and gaming kind of like came together. And when I say hip hop, I mean kind of like the old traditional, like hip hop backpack style, underground style, the New York style. But it's just something that I grew up with and I know some bit about, and I never have any opportunity to talk about it. So here's a chance. As far as this song goes, fantastic. It's awesome. I love it. I just couldn't place it anywhere. You know, I really want to play this game now. Now that I think about it, because it feels like it just has nostalgia for me written all over it. I've seen what it looks like. I've now heard some of the songs, and there's no more requests for it. So maybe one day I'll just like fire it up. But this just seems like such a cool passion project and a big like hug to 90s kids, which is me. Let me know if you're like a newer, a younger, newer human. Let me know if you're like a younger Gen Z or other, and let me know if you're into the Turtles as well, because the Turtles are timeless. They're always gonna have fans no matter what, and that's what's cool about them. They're always gonna have fans. It's an immortal series. Shout out to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I want to learn more about them now. Now that I'm older, yeah, I definitely want to learn more, like how they came to be and everything, because I don't know anything about it. I just experienced it as a kid, and that was it. And then check out that game on the PS2. I think it's just called TMNT. It was pretty cool. You can fight. Oh, I don't want to spoil it, but you can fight a lot of characters, and it looked really cool. It was like a really stylized game, so it aged very well. Okay, that was awesome. Thank you, Memory Task, Startin and Steven. Shout out T Lopez, Raekwon. Wu-Tang, I can't believe I had Wu-Tang on, or some of Wu-Tang on my channel. That was awesome. Let me know if you experienced this game. Let me know whatever you want to know about the Turtles. Awesome. Cowabunga. Oh yeah, and then they're all named after artists too, which also made me think of like graffiti artists, right? They're all like, anyways. It could just be a theory, but it's just something I've always felt strongly about. Anyways, my name is Jesse. Thank you to all my patrons here. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse again. Peace.